Hi, I'm here at the Marijuana Mansion with Drew and Bryan from Hemper. I met these guys in Las Vegas, and they flew in to do an interview, and I thought it was really cool. Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for the invite.
So just so you know what these guys do, they're like Loot Crate, but for marijuana. And I'd love for you guys to start off just by telling your story, because I think what you're doing is epic.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the invite. Yeah, so basically, Hemper started about 15 months ago. Goal was essentially to deliver high-quality smoking experience to people who wanted cannabis accessories delivered to their house in a convenient manner, right? Basically, what was happening in the market, pricing is just so expensive to go to a head shop. I mean, you're paying almost $7 for a pack of rolling papers at this point, right? So what we decided to do was pack everything in a convenient box, economy price tag, and then deliver it straight to your door. About 6 months into the game, we started doing these guest curated concepts where we would bring in celebrities to curate the box, and then it would give off the impression you're smoking their ideal smoking situation for a month. And this kind of catapulted us from 150 subscribers in our first 3 months to over 1,000 August boxes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so then we knew that's when it hit. People were like, okay, so I've been watching this person, or I've been listening to this person, or I've been watching them game, or whatever it could be, whatever medium. And then we bring them in, and it's like a whole different dynamic, because it's like, wow, I'm being exposed to their like personal smoking experience, right? And that's when we knew like it hit with these special curators. So then we moved on to like larger curators, so like bigger weed tubers in this like weed tube community. And there's like, I don't know, maybe like 10 of them, right, so to say at this point. But they're like, they have no idea like what kind of engine they have going behind them. I mean, it's the only medium where you can advertise basically cannabis accessories, strain reviews, all of that. There's no TV networks for it, right? So then we moved on to like celebrities, kind of like musicians, hip hop artists, gamers now. So now we're getting basically all facets of the culture is what we call it. So
that's great. Now, one of the things that I think is super unique about what you're doing is that the products that you showed me, because you mailed me a box, I opened it, and there's a bong, there's all sorts of gadgets, there's an ashtray, there's paper, there's all sorts of things. And also at dinner, you showed me some of the future products that were going to be sent to people, because every month's going to be a little bit different.
Right, exactly.
But it's not just that. You actually build each of these products yourself.
Right.
So like the glass and the bongs, you're making yourself. The products that you're showing me, like a custom lighter and all these devices. It's like very creative gear. Right. And each of the products that you give away in your boxes could be its own sustaining, 7-figure business. So I think it's really amazing.
A lot of things that when we go to like these trade shows, what we'll see is a lot of companies throw, a lot of money behind one product, and they're, one hit, wonders basically. And we're basically a brand, but we started as a service, which was really interesting. So we've kind of like built this service, but Hemper also is a brand in itself. And now we're developing our own smoking accessory lines, because we just understand what the consumer is looking for. We can do it quicker, faster, better, cheaper than what anyone else is doing on the market. And we're intuitive enough to, obviously we partake in the culture, so we understand it, and we can design products centered around what is lacking in the market, essentially.
I mean, for me, I design new videos every month for my YouTube channel. And the number of videos I do in a month is 2 a week, and I would probably say like the number of products you're releasing is similar to that. That's really amazing. Like, you're building completely new products, innovating yourself. How do you as a team have that innovation to make so many products so quick, so fast? It's like South Park with their TV shows.
That's a good question. I don't know, we call this, what do we call it? Hemper Think Tank?
Yeah.
So basically, we work out of one of the WeWorks in Washington, D.C., and we have our industrial designer there, we have our creative director there, we have myself, Drew, one of our other interns, Elliot. And honestly, like, we just sit in a room together, and we call it Hemper Think Tank, and we just design, iterate until we come up with what's basically needed in the marketplace. What we kind of do is we take whatever is out there and we really kind of dissect it, and then reverse engineer everything, and then design our products around that, because we kind of, we're basically building on everyone's flaws in their product, essentially, right? So that's what we're best at.
I mean, that's how any business is developed. Exactly. If you want to like lead, it's kind of like what Facebook did to improve upon MySpace, and they launched it, just that you're doing it multiple times every week with new products, which is, I've never heard of anyone ever doing that before.
So we're moving really quick with like the new products. We're probably coming out with, I'd say, quarterly, probably 5 or 6 easily.
Easy.
And like you said, each of these different products technically is a sustainable business because people are already doing it in the scene. They just don't have a marketing machine that we've built with this box behind it, right? So the cool thing about us is when we make new products, we already have all of the MOQs already paid for, right? So like if we order 7,500 units, they're already gone that month. That's the best part about it. We don't hold on to inventory. We're not stuck with it. That's so unique about our business model. So we already have like the audience to send them new products every month. We don't have to be like, okay, let's invest, $10,000 into this product and then we have to talk to a distributor and pray they pick it up. We don't have to do that. We literally just throw it in the box that month, gone. Like some of our suppliers who manufacture some of this stuff, when we go back and say, oh, we need another 7,500 units of this, like how do you get rid of it so quickly?
Yeah.
They're like, you're amazing, basically.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so recently we've just, when we first started the company, we were doing a lot of white labeling of like basic products out in the market, but now we're really getting into our own product innovation.
Now, one of the things that you were telling me over dinner was that the target demographic that you're focusing on are kind of basically yourselves. You're not the typical like Burning Man looking weed smokers.
Right.
You're kind of like more sophisticated
Right.
people, and I guess you wanted to create a product that you would love yourself and share that passion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we definitely, we stay away from Rasta colors. We stay away from the weed leaf. We're going for like really clean, mainstream people. People see me on the street, they don't think I smoke. I just look like a normal individual, right? But then like once I start talking about the culture and everything, like, wow, like you kind of know, 6 different points of the industry, right? So the cool thing about it is we just don't fake it. We're just like normal individuals, mainstream, and we're just trying to clean up the image. There's so many people that are adding to the negative reefer madness, thing. And we're really trying to step away from that and show people that we're normal people. We just happen to partake in the culture. And we're professional and, we're not barbaric by any means. And we don't wear Rasta colors. We don't wear weed leaves all over our clothing. And we're just normal individuals. We just happen to be in the cannabis space.
Now, growing through celebrity endorsements is something that a lot of people would love to do in the retail space.
Right.
And you were telling me some stories about how you're able to do that and just walk up to people just naturally and cold approach people and do some of that. I'd love for you to share some of those stories about how you're able to lock down these deals and network, because so many people who are following this channel are interested in that skill set.
For sure. Yeah, so I guess we brought on Drew probably 6 months ago
About 6 months
to do a lot of like the initial outreach, and because it was becoming to the point where I was literally, my whole day was just reaching out to influencers, right? Communicating with them, and let me tell you, they are divas, okay?
I know that because I manage quite a few of myself.
Yeah, exactly. So and you could be paying them tens of thousands of dollars and they just won't even get back to you for some reason, right?
Yeah.
No one understands it. But the cool thing is, so we have a really fun product, right? So, when we do the curated stuff, we do like, custom boxes, so custom sleeves, everything's limited edition. You can't just go to the store and get it. So like the influencers, they look at this as like a really fun experience for them, because a lot of times it's actually their first jump into product. Normally they don't have like, their own rolling tray or their own ashtray or their own rolling papers, their own lighter. So this is like fun and new for them. They've been pitched, 1 million drink deals. They've been pitched 1 million alcohol deals. So when we approach them, it's kind of almost pretty easy to convince them.
Yeah, but they don't have to push that hard.
Yeah.
They hear, oh, I can have my own smoking accessory line. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, where do I start?
And then, when we tie in, like we'll do like parties, centered around some type of initiative that they're doing. Like we did the partnership with Ty Dolla $ign. He threw the pop-up shop in LA. We like sponsored it. He curated the box, and then we threw him like a whole after party for it. And we had, Chris Sage cook a medicated meal. So we had like, barbecue with ketchup and mustard infused, and then we did medicated massages on site, and then we had a whole bunch of other companies donate, different products and stuff, and it's just a really fun experience. We make it fun, and that's the coolest part is we want the influencer to, obviously we're paying them for their, services or coming to curate, but the goal is to really make them feel like Hemper is the best, right? So it's genuinely like, okay, Hemper really wants me to succeed in this. Not, oh, Hemper's paying me to say a couple things and then we'll see you guys later. It's more about a full 360 relationship with the influencer, right? So, For example, one of our influencers posted on social the other day that they needed a new glass banger, okay, like a quartz banger, because we sent them a brand new piece, and they were like, oh, I don't have one for this. So I told Drew, I said, hey, reach out to so-and-so, go buy them a banger, send it to them. And that's what makes these influencers really believe that Hemper is the best. We go above and beyond just paying them money. It's like, okay, we did a collab with the game, and we bought his daughter a brand new backpack for school because it was like the start of the new school year, right? Stuff like that, like, it's going beyond just the relationship. It's really becoming a part of their life as well.
Yeah, that's really super thoughtful too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're treating your influencers like that, I mean, people want to be your friends.
Exactly.
I mean,
Right.
you must treat your family and friends really well because you guys are very considerate people,
Yeah.
And also what you're doing is super fun.
Right.
I think that what you kind of did was you followed your passion, looked at all the things that people were failing on in terms
Right.
of what the businesses and also the products that you wanted, and then improved upon it and made it yourself.
Right.
And this is something that you kind of like just self-funded yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we self-funded it. The three partners, myself, RJ, and Henry. I went to college with RJ, and then it was really funny how we started. It was New Year's Eve in New York City. We're sitting on RJ's couch, and I was in my last semester of college. RJ graduated the semester before. Henry graduated the semester before, and I was at the point where I was kind of tapped out of school. I was like, all right, ready to get into the real world. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't want to go sit in a cubicle and be a cubicle monkey. It's just not for me. I can't live in that environment. And we're sitting on the couch, and I think I was telling you this, and I was like, oh, we should start, a smoking accessory subscription box. And RJ looks at me, oh, you're an idiot. Why would we do that? That's so stupid. And then Henry's like, wait, that's genius. Let's do that. And literally, that was January 1st. I'd say by June 1st, we were already sending our first boxes. And we incorporated, and we haven't stopped since. Let me tell you, packing thousands of boxes. For our first month, we only had 35 subscribers in June. It took us 5 hours to pack 35 boxes.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Now it takes a week to do 7,500 at least.
Wow.
Yeah. So definitely crazy production going on right now.
Now, a lot of my subscribers, for some reason, I did an interview with Big Mike, and everyone was wondering about the legal and political ramifications of being in this business. Mm-hmm. How does the present legal landscape and the future of what you see is happening changing and affecting your business?
So the cool thing about us, and the reason why we can convince influencers to partake in these initiatives with us, is because we don't touch the product. We don't deal with THC, we don't deal with CBD. It's just pure accessories, right? It's nothing more than what you could go get at your local gas station or head shop, right? So for us, the legality, obviously, if we incorporated, CBD or something like that, then we're liable more down the road. But we like to stay away from the product. We want to go strictly accessories. And maybe, later down the road when it becomes more acceptable and the laws change, then we can incorporate the product possibly, or, do a spin-off or something like that. But I think for now, we're not breaking any laws, and I don't think we're going to be anytime soon.
Yeah.
So I think we're good for now.
Yeah,
But,
definitely.
Yeah.
I guess the other question I was wondering is, being a business owner, an entrepreneur, you have to come up with not just like the product itself,
Right.
but have like a complete game plan and structure. Was this your first time doing this, or did you have other entrepreneurial ventures that kind of allowed you to have this roadmap and game plan to become so successful so fast?
So my first ever business was when I was 15 years old. Okay, so 2 weeks prior to starting my first business, I worked at Marble Slab Creamery, which is basically like Cold Stone. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
Where they, make the ice cream and stuff, right? So I was 15 years old. All of my friends were getting jobs there. And I was like, okay, well, I want to hang out with my friends, so I'll get a job too, right? So we worked at Marble Slab Creamery for like 2 weeks. I was making the waffle cones. I was burning myself. I was like, Jesus, this is like real hard work. And one day one of my buddies accidentally knocks over a tray of cones that I was maneuvering with. And the guy brought me back, the owner, and he was like, I think this isn't working out. We're going to have to let you go. So you can imagine at 15 years old, I was completely devastated, right? And I was like, I just worked my ass off for 2 weeks, and this guy completely didn't even consider it, and blah, 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 right? Well, about a month later, I was talking with my mom, and she was like, you should start a shaved ice company. So I built my own cart. I bought the machine from Hawaii. I went up to Baltimore, Maryland to buy my syrups. And it's really funny. So where the Marble Slab Creamery is, it's in a strip mall right here, right? And in my neighborhood, there used to be an ice skating rink that's owned by the city of Gaithersburg in Maryland. So I had a hawker's peddler license for the city of Gaithersburg, okay? And so my goal was to open up by July 4th weekend. So here's his strip mall, here's the ice skating rink where everyone hangs out, and during the summer it's just a cement patch, okay? Well, here's his location. I set up right here, July 4th weekend, and he couldn't do anything about it. He sent the police on me.
Oh, really?
I'm 15 years old.
Wow.
He sent the cops to check my permitting. He sent the city of Gaithersburg to check my permitting. He sent 2 of his employees out to check my permitting. And then I had the surrounding restaurants, because obviously if there's a diner in the area, I'm taking dessert clients from them. They come out and ask me, so what are you here for, like, what do you got, a weekend permit or something? And I know, no, try a whole year.
Yeah.
And since then I started sponsoring swim teams, going to the swim pools every day. I mean, I was making like anywhere between $25,000 and $50,000 a summer as a 15-year-old kid doing this. It was ridiculous. All cash. As far as the government knew, I was a lemonade stand.
Wow.
So that was one of my first ventures, and that kind of really catapulted me into this whole entrepreneurship life, and just really like understanding, like, you do what you have to do, and you put in the time and effort, it'll come to fruition.
When I was 15, I was building websites, but I didn't even know it was legal to actually have a permit from the city that could actually. I didn't even know it's legal for you to even sign a contract. Do you ever get parents' permission to get your permit and everything?
No, I had to go down to the city council to get a health permit, and I had to build in my cart a hand washing station, because I had to be certified by the health department, right? So I had the hawker's peddler license and the health certificate. So
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I wanted it to be legit, because if I'm going to shove it in their face, in the Marble Slab Creamery guy's face, I got to make sure I'm able to be there. Right?
I think that's amazing, because when you're in business and you're in entrepreneurship,
right,
especially when you have significant revenue like that, people will hate, people will troll, people try to take you down no matter who you are.
Right.
And you're experiencing that as a 15-year-old. So you got some good hard knocks early on, and you won.
Right, exactly.
That is really, really impressive. I've never heard of someone able to do that. I didn't even know you could actually get involved with, even being involved with signing contracts legally or anything like that.
No, it was pretty crazy. And then I started getting really busy, and then I started sponsoring, or doing, bar and bat mitzvahs, and I was dishing out, $75 worth of product and getting paid $600 for 2 hours. So it's like, for me, I was like living a dream. I'm 15, 16 years old, and I did this all the way up till I went to college. And so, by the time I was a senior, I was like sitting pretty, but it definitely groomed me for this. However, this is a much larger production for sure. This is definitely like one of my first projects at this magnitude. But that definitely helped me start like this whole journey.
Is your company presently focused on the USA market, or are you guys going global right now?
So we're in over 20 countries.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so Canada's really big for us, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, but our 90% of our subscriber base is in the United States.
Awesome.
So we haven't even tapped into like the international potential, really. I mean, I don't know if you know what's going on in Canada, but the scene is crazy over there. I mean, it's essentially legalized, medically, almost recreationally. And once we, secure the U.S. market, we're going to start building out marketing campaigns for international.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what you have is truly amazing, and most people can't even conceptualize some of the ideas that you're putting together in terms of your business and ideas. The mindset that you had in terms of putting this all together, what was the influence that allowed you to have that entrepreneurial mindset so young and carry that forward to be kind of like through mastery today?
Probably a couple words: kill or be killed, right? So, I was graduating college. All my buddies were, applying for jobs, and I was like, wait, if I sit here and apply for one job, it's like a 10-hour thing. I gotta make sure my cover letter is right, gotta make sure my resume is tailored, and my cover letter is tailored to each of these jobs, right? Because all my buddies tell me, oh, I gotta change it per employer, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna spend all this time wasting, literally just applying to jobs. Okay, so when I was in my last semester, I was sitting in this class. It was culture through Japanese film or something like that. And I applied to 5 jobs, okay? And they were all startups. I went on Y Combinator, applied to like a couple of different startups, didn't hear back from any of them. Actually, I got rejected from one of them. And I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm just gonna do this. So I actually, when I graduated, I had 2 startups going. Hemper and this other application that I was working on. Basically, it was kind of like a communication channel between merchants and consumers where, like, for example, like a liquor store, if they wanted to put like, Bacardi 151 on sale, how would they alert their customers, right? So this was kind of like a Twitter communication platform, but like they could send out deals, promotions, messages, whatever it was. However, I kind of needed a full sales team to sell this to the merchants. So, and then Hemper kind of took off. So I kind of backburnered that one. Still one of my babies though. And then Hemper kind of took off. So now that's my main focus.
That's epic. I love the passion that you have going to business. Everything about it is truly amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming down, bro.
Thanks,
This
man.
has
I
been
really appreciate the invite.
Cheers. I hope you enjoyed today's interview. Please subscribe to the channel. Write your comments below if you have any questions for these guys. Check out their websites and also their social media in the video description below. They're doing some amazing things with an epic product. Cheers.